Welcome back everyone to LPB Racing. This is our 2.4 hours of Le Mans, which is part of our super season, and this is the full race, and this is part 3 of 3 here at Le Mans. Hope you enjoy, everyone. So now we come back to part 3 of this race, lap 32, as Bidster just passes Stacker there and off into the lead, and we've got Callum Wills just set that fastest lap of 3:18.7 and he's pulling Neil with him now.
Yeah, Callum's trying to get as fast as he can, so he knows he doesn't have to stop, so he's trying to catch the lead pack.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of a draft off Techno as well of the cars ahead. They're going to, I think actually Callum, oh Neil for the move! Gee, did not expect that, wow! Went straight for the move and Callum were like, no you don't, and now they're all in traffic, and I was just about to say that Callum will actually get a traffic free move there, but then Neil just scared the life out of me.
Yeah, that was pretty risky with 11 laps to go.
I think that was more of a missed braking opportunity. I think that was more of a missed the braking point. I think that's not usually like Neil that.
That almost did like he did get a bit hot down there. Callum almost loses it.
Yeah, and Neil goes over the curb as well, and you're both pushing super hard here. And racing super softs on Neil's car with only half tank of fuel in, and softs on Callum's car, but we know he can get to the end. Just a quick look at Rodders then, he's coming out the pits. Oh, he's not put that much fuel in. It's a bit of a strange one. Should have put a bit more fuel in than that, I think, but Thingamajig now in a solid second place. Whoa, what a run.
That's a great run from the Ford. It went from almost the back of the pack to now second in class.
And now it's Keith in third in class, with Jamo in fourth in class, and it's Homesick. Remember, Homesick's pitted as Gummy Bear and Seek, and remember Seek's pitted as well. So Seek and Gummy are really the ones. Seek and Homesick are the ones that are really supposed to be second and third, and they're closing on each other as well. And Homesick's in the prime spot because he's actually ahead, really on track position if you think about it, ahead of Seek.
Yeah, and also Homesick does have a pretty good position too because he's closing up on that second, third in class too.
Yeah, so just giving the camera there we are. So there, Jamo and Keith, they're 3:57.9, 3:57.7, 3:57.3 for Homesick. So yeah, you're right, he is closing on him. He is the faster car. Gummy Bear's still in the 402s, and Seat 1 now needs to pass that Ferrari because that Ferrari's going to hold him up now. Because with the medium tyres on Gummy Bear's car, I don't see him going any faster now.
No, yeah, and Seek can't get by him before he gets into a lot of points.
Yeah, and we're just having a look. So TY now 3:19.4, so into 18.1 Lou the lap, but obviously that didn't count because he come out the pit. So I thought, whoa, okay, how much track TY? The track's over here, but yeah, TY taking a lot of track there. Neil and Callum still can't separate these two with a cigarette paper. Absolutely no gap between them. Just running round in unison, and it's going to be, I think at the end it's going to be whoever can outsmart the other one on tyres and fuel at the end. So 10 laps to go in this 43 lap 2.4 hour race, and it is going very well indeed as Neil chucks up a load of dust from the side of the road. And I think Bidster's got some traffic coming up. I think there's a massive gaggle of cars up ahead. I'm just going to try and see if I can see what that is. I've got Keith, Jamo, Homesick. Yes, it's the gaggle of GT cars. So Gummy's actually keeping with Homesick here.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting because it figured that the Aston would start pulling away with the type of tires on and the pace he's had in the last 5 laps or so.
Yeah, and the Gummy Bear runs a bit. Oh, so Seat runs a bit wide there, and Gummy takes a bit more advantage. But yeah, I mean, unless the soft tyres aren't really working, don't really work on the Ferrari. If you tested that in practice, then if he doesn't feel as though they're the right compound, then I suppose he's got every right to keep the mediums on. But he runs very wide in Seat 1. That's his opportunity. Straight through. Gummy Bear makes a mistake, hits the gravel, and down to 11th place there. And Bidster now coming up to the pack.
And so now we're going to see if either Bid's going to get slowed down by traffic or if he's going to be able to slide through it.
Yeah. Sliding through it so far, but now he's got him in, like you said before, Will, one of the worst possible places. Indianapolis.
He's going to slow him up a bit, but it's not going to be detrimental.
Did you see that ahead? We have Jamo and Homesick really close together, and Jamo almost getting passed by Homesick there as Bidster slots himself in the middle of the pack, and meanwhile Callum and Neil have I Well, have they swapped in that order anyway? I can't remember.
They were in that
short-term memory
order
loss.
anyway. Yeah, Neil's been following Callum for the last few laps.
Callum 3:18.7, fastest lap of the race. What a lap by Callum! That was done just at the end of the part two. That was a mega lap by Callum. But Bids is now clear of this traffic, and now it's these two guys' turn to try and get through the mob of GT cars. And we best have a look at that mob of GT cars, to be honest, because it is actually hotting up here. Because we've got Jamo and Homesick together. Seat 1 has finally cleared the Ferrari of Gummy Bear, and I don't see him sticking with the pack very long. But Seat 1 looks like he's now on the push.
Yeah, and then it's going to be interesting to see how these two prototypes get through it, because you have third down to 6th, 7th right here that they have to try to get through.
Yeah, they've got to try and get through all that traffic, and they might get lucky, they might catch it in a decent spot, but I'm not really sure if they are going to, because, well, here we are, they're going to get past Gummy, but look, yeah, they're going to be right into the Dunlop chicane and the S's by the time they get to these lots, so this is where it's going to get interesting. And we're going to see if Callum can hold his nerve and keep Neil behind him as well as we go into the chicane, into the apex, and we're just about going to get on. We might be able to get these on the outside of the corner, but C1 will be looking to get past Homesick as well as we go to the outside. Both cars to the outside. Oh, Callum! Oh, that was no room at all. That was like trying to overtake around the back end of Sebring. But he's off on the grass as well. Oh my word, this is no good for my heart rate again.
No, and if Callum doesn't watch it, he's going to get a little too impatient and cause up some problems. But now they're going to get through it on the start of the marathon.
Yeah, and they threw it, and also Jamo's still having to go at Keith now, so they've got through now, so they're clear, and the gap's roughly about the same. But Jamo is quite close now behind Keith. Let's see if he's going to go for the move. Keith, quarter of a tank of fuel left. He will have to pit before the end of the race. Jamo will as well, I think. I don't know if we can get to the end on that, but remember, it's when the prototypes finish. As Keith runs wide in the Corvette and almost contact, and Homesick then gets right behind Keith, and now they're all in a massive gaggle of cars. It's insane as they're all drafting each other now, and it's like they're that close. It's like NASCAR.
Yeah, and now is when people are starting to actually want to get in position instead of sit behind, because right now you're down the last 9 laps of the race, so you want to try to get a lead so you don't have to worry about it, worrying about to mess up in the last chicane.
And don't forget as well, Will, we've got Homesick and Seek in this, who have actually pitted, and they look like they've actually got enough fuel and tyres to get to the end of the race. Jamo and Keith are more than likely going to have to pit again. Yeah,
on the pace the prototypes are on, the 2 cars that have already pitted, they might have enough to get to the end.
Might do, but I definitely know Keith's going to have to pit. So you look at his fuel there, he's definitely going to have to pit on that. Then if you look at Jamo, he could scrape it, but I don't see him taking the chance. But again, his splash and dash will be a lot quicker than Keith's. As Homesick goes for the move there, and he's through. Seat 1 trying to get past Jamo, and he's on the inside. Can Jamo run it? No, he can't. Seat 1 gets the move done, and now Seat's going to want to try and get past Keith as quick as he can, ditch that Corvette to try and stick with the Aston.
Yeah, because we're trying to stick together here, because the Aston is not running on a bad pace. So if you can stick with him, you might be able to get away from this group.
Yeah, and he's got to try and ditch Keith first. Keith is no mean feat, and also he's light on fuel, so his car will be a lot faster than the Porsche, obviously on agility wise, unless you just do that round the outside and into the corner and just shows Keith where the exit is. So there you go, shows Keith the exit, kicks him out the door, and off Seat goes, chasing after that Aston Martin. And Keith is now left with his long-term rival in this race, Jamo.
Yeah, now you're starting to see, again, people making moves that they wouldn't make 10 laps ago, because they're knowing that with the pace these prototypes are doing, that the race is going to be over here within the next 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's really going to be, because Bidster now has just started lap 35 of 43, so only a handful of laps left in endurance terms in this race, and Bidster's just done a 3:20.6. He's not hanging around. He's still trying to keep the gap. Well, I suppose if you do try and slow down a bit and try and ease off the pace, you are more likely to make more mistakes. So it is probably a good idea to keep some kind of pace going, because then you don't lose concentration. As Callum and Neil both lap the leader in GTE Pro, which is Rodders, and Rodders, got to take your hat off to him, Will. He's done a fantastic job this race in the Nissan.
Oh yeah, he's done really good in this race, and now he's up to 4th overall, so something's happened to a prototype.
Yes, TY has we've only got 14 people. TY has disappeared off the leaderboard. He's gone. He's disconnected from the race. He's completely gone. Ah, TY. I know he wasn't doing too well in the race with the tyre problem with the front wheel drive Nissan, but again, TY's connection substitutes into the side of the track, and oh man. We treat disconnections in LPB Racing like we treat like it's just like a blown engine or a retirement. So unfortunately, no points for TY in this one. A very, very sad end to his race.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like almost like he was trying to find his rhythm and almost was getting back up to these second and third. But that's upsetting that he had to have disconnect like that. I mean, that strategy in the end, it would have sort of, it wouldn't have really passed these guys, but it would have been up with the group again, especially if it had done the short fuel and quick on the tyres like you mentioned earlier in the race, Will. Yeah, I mean, he may have not have been gotten around him, but it could have made for, you know, I mean, in auto, he may have been right behind him and caused one of these to make a mistake, so you never know.
You never know, you never know, but again, we will never know, because, you know, he's not here, so unfortunately he's disconnected, and that is the last we'll see of TY in this race. But luckily we've still got a decent LMP battle going on here between Callum and Neil, providing all the entertainment. Bids is just boring us to death out front, but again, he can't avoid a mistake. He can't afford a mistake, Bidster, because otherwise he'll be right in the hands of these two. So I don't see Bidster letting up anytime soon. But the battle between Callum and Neil is only just beginning, even though it's been going on most of the race. It's now getting to the crucial point of the race. But Rod is on his own. Thingamajig in 5th on his own as well. I mean, Thingamajig's pace, 50. Oh, actually, Rod is on 58. So Thingamajig's on a consistent pace. But do you think these guys will catch him?
I don't think so, because like I said, the pace of the prototypes, I think we're almost looking at, instead of like this Packer here, at least first and second class, you might be looking at, unless a major mistake happens, the first top 2 in class, but third, you're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, as Humzik looks down the inside of the Porsche, but there's no way through there. Seat 1 just holding his own, and Keith in the background just is staying with the cars in front, but look at Keith's fuel. He'll definitely be pitting within the next lap or two, and I would imagine if Jamo's quite savvy with this, he'll follow him in, because if he follows him in, he'll not have to put as much fuel in his Keith to get to the end.
No, he won't, and he will still have somebody right there with him to try to push him back up to the lead pack.
Meanwhile, Humzik trying to pull alongside that Porsche again. This is the battle for the 3rd position in GTE, because we've got Thingamajig, he's definitely up there in 2nd place. Let's check Thingamajig's fuel. Oh, Thingamajig might have to pit here, Will. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And this is going to play into it too, because if he has to pit, then we might see somebody else take the 2nd spot.
But it will be a quick stop. We've got to take that into account as well. He could theoretically stay on the same tyres if he wanted to, but I wouldn't advise it. But yeah, it'd only be a splash and dash to go. Seat 1 and Alien alongside each other into Porsche curves. Will.
And this is that'd be smart for Sig to tuck right back in, because I mean, unless he's really trying to get it, I wouldn't advise trying to pass down the Porsche curve in a GT car.
Even though he's in a Porsche, definitely not, because you've got to make sure going into the Porsche curves that you are ahead. If you're ahead, you've got a chance to sort of let off the brakes and try and roll it into the corner. You might run a bit wide, but you actually get the place done. But Humzik just making sure that he was slightly ahead of that Porsche into the corner, and got position as Keith and Jamo. Jamo's having a look at Keith now. Keith, will he peel in this time? Yes! Keith, he doesn't follow him. He doesn't follow him.
Jamo stays out.
Now that's interesting, unless he wants to get the draft off these two for a bit and then try and gain some time on Keith. So that could be a possibility. We've got Gummy Bear coming through the chicane in the... It's way back now, so it's definitely going to be Keith on his own in his own air. So unless Jamo's thinking the draft will.
Yeah, he's probably thinking that if he can catch this draft, maybe save a bit of fuel. And or he's trying to see if he probably knows that he might be able to make it to the end, but it's going to be tight.
Yeah, it is going to be tight, because 31 or 43 for them, and then you got 36 or 43 for Bidster. He's still got quite a few laps to go in this race, and he's not going to be, well, I know he's not hanging around, but it's still going to be quite a bit more fuel for the GTs.
Yeah, some of them probably going to have to take a little over half a tank maybe.
Yeah, Keith is there. He's put 3/4 in. He's playing it super safe because he doesn't know how long he's got to go to the end. So again, remember these GT guys, they've got to try and calculate when the race is going to end as well. So Keith's played it super safe there, but again, at least he's not filled it up all the way. So good strategy there by Keith, I'd say. playing it safe. You see Jamo right behind seat 1 now, so he's using the draft. You are right, Will. He's using the draft. Oh, seat 1 goes wide into the chicane though, and that's not going to help Jamo if he wants to do the drafting game, as he might have to pull out and overtake. No, he stays behind. Let's watch. Oh no, he doesn't. He pulls out. He's going to have a go.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try. He's going to tug right back in because the legs in that Porsche.
He's turned that engine down. He has turned that engine down because that Supra would have about the same grunt as that Porsche out of there. He has turned that engine down and he's not touching, and he's trying to save as much fuel as he can. Pit a bit later, quick splash dash go. So that might be what he needs, but oh, seat 1. That Porsche is starting to get very slidey. I think he's just pushing hard. I think it's not nothing to do with tyres because his tyres are fresh as daisies. So, but he has got a bit more fuel than Homesick. There's about a couple of laps difference in fuel there.
Yeah, but and these two, both of them, they could go to the end of the race, but Jamo, I don't know. He's playing it a bit tight here.
Yeah, the Seek and Homesick are definitely going to get to the end of the race. I would say that for definite on fuel. Jamo will definitely not. So Bidster's on lap 37 now, 43. So ticking down the laps. 20.6, 20.2, 20.4, and purple again. So Bidster's obviously trying to put a fast lap in here. So don't see what the point is of that, but unless he wants to do the extra point fastest lap as well. So there's Neil Farmack and Callum still. Oh, Neil's in front of Callum now. Neil switched.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a fuel saving game from Callum. I think Neil just got around.
Oh,
Callum, on his fuel economy that he's had, Callum has plenty to get through. But there he goes with just the pace in that Peugeot.
Yeah, and down the straight, there was a little look at the change of fuel. So that's Neil's fuel, almost exactly a quarter of a tank, and Callum's on a third. So yeah, I think these two are safe to the end of the race with the laps we've got left. Maybe, but Neil might have to do a bit more saving. I think Callum will definitely get to the end, but Neil's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit on the edge for Neil, really. Can't quite figure that out.
It's going to be tight for Neil. I mean, I think he might just make it.
Yeah, Bidson's fine. He's got the same fuel as Callum, so he should be able to get to the end of the race. But yeah, Neil. Well, this is prime opportunity for Neil now. Save fuel. He could have done with changing 6th gear a bit earlier there, but yeah, he's trying to save fuel now.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I were him. I'd just sit behind, save fuel, and then if you got the pace on the last 2 laps, go for it.
Yeah, I would be exactly the same, Will. We were thinking alike there. I would be exactly the same. Just stick behind him, let Callum pull him up. He knows Callum's got enough fuel to get to the end, and yeah, just try and see what he could. Just try and stick behind him, save some fuel, get to the end, rather than risking a pit stop. Because of the pace of that Peugeot anyway, it's not going to go well. So there's Rodders, the GT leader. He's lapped Thundercat, who was in 14, because he's just coming around the S's now. So Rodders through Tetra Rouge in the lead of the GTE race. 3:58.9 last time round, and is still pulling that gap out. But having said that, Thingamajig's going faster, but I'm not sure if he's going to get to the end of the race here, because 3:57.6, so he's going, whoa, he is trying in that car. He's really trying, but I don't, he'll probably have to do a little splash and dash, but unless he's calculating how long the prototype's going to take to finish. But yeah, there's home back with Homesick and Seek, so there's still, Jamo's still not pitted.
See, I believe.
Seat 1 has a massive slide out of Tetra Rouge there and loses time to Homesick, and more importantly though, stops Jamo from closing up and sort of gives himself a bit of breathing room, but unfortunately he's giving himself breathing room to Homesick as well, which is not what he wants. But Jamo last time round, his personal best of the race, 56.9. That'll be from the draft. Let's have a look at Keith now. Out the pits 3:58, but obviously they are quicker laps out the pits anyway, so that would probably be like a 4-minute flat out the pits, so that's not too bad. He's got to get used to the rubber. So yeah, let's go back to the GT one. So yeah, he's still in the draft though, still got drafting range.
Yeah, so he's right now, he's just trying to sit back and save fuel, but it's just like what Neil probably almost doing. He's sitting back waiting to save fuel, and if he has to stop, it won't be very long. Yeah,
Homesick goes to Homesick and see the drafting down the straight. Jamo's lost that. Look at that, he's lost the draft now for definite. That is no draft whatsoever in that Supra, and he's going to have to use a bit of fuel now to catch up. Either that or just do a quick splash and dash and hope he gets out in front of Keith. So
right now, his tires, they should be able to last. He should be safe with just
tires will be good. Just a quick fuel stop.
Half a tank of fuel in and going to the end.
Yeah, just a quick fuel stop will do it if he needs to. Just maybe pop like another 25 litres in or something. That'll get him to the end. So because obviously it's 100 litres on this game, so pop about a quarter of tank in, that'll get him to end at race easy, and that'll be a quick stop. So we'll have to see if he does that. But Thingamajig, he's definitely going to have to pit towards the end because he's only got an eighth of the tank left. And Business on lap 38 now, and 3:19.8 last time round for Business, so putting his foot down a little bit. Callum on 18.9, so only 2/10 off his fastest lap. Where's Neil gone? He's back there. He's ditched him. Unless Neil's made an error, but judging by the lap time, he hasn't. I think Callum's just left him.
Yeah, Callum's pushing now because he doesn't want Neil to save fuel. He wants to get out in front of him.
He wants Neil to waste fuel because then he knows he's got enough fuel to get to the end. He wants Neil to waste fuel because then he's got to save it and slow down. So, a good strategy there because now he's definitely out of drafting range there because in the draft these cars will be doing roughly about 210 miles an hour. In the draft he's only doing 200 there. So, not that 200's any mean feat, but yeah, it's. He's not in the draft, and I don't see him coming back from there unless he just absolutely just forgets about fuel and just goes for it. But I don't think he's got the fuel capacity to do that.
No, he probably doesn't.
But Bidster then in the lead. He's just past Stacker, so lapped him again, Stacker. So Stacker finally seen a car in this race for a while because he's not seen many cars in this race. Stacker, he's had quite a lonely race. But yeah, in first place goes Bid, and then second place Callum, third place Neil Farmack, just passing Techno there in 12th in the Audi now, so not too bad for the Audi. 12th place, Firepower back in 13th, we've got Thundercat in 14th. Thundercat's had a bit of a horrible race, a few laps where he's made a few mistakes, so down in 14th. Firepower's not had a bad race, nice and consistent, but just not having the pace of the others around him. And then Techno finally putting the soft tyres on, but a bit late in the race.
Yeah, it was a bit too late because by the time I got the softs on, the rest of the GT Pro field was a good amount ahead. So now he's just trying to hang on to 12.
Yeah, no, he's hanging on to 12. I mean, Stacker's the next car ahead, but that's a good, I would say that's a good 8 to 10 second gap. So he's got a lot to take down there, and Stacker's not exactly hanging around because he's got good fuel and good tyres towards the end. So yeah, as Callum now comes up to the back of Stacker, so Callum's got to negotiate Stack here. Let's go up to Callum. He's had to wait. He's had to wait a little bit, but no. And where's Neil? There he is. So Neil comes through. But again, Neil might catch Stacker here in the Ford chicane. This could spell disaster.
Yeah, it could, because if he gets caught behind the Ford chicane, Callum's going to be gone. Yep. It looks like he is going to catch him right
He is
there.
as well, right at the end of it as well. It's not too bad because he can use the hybrid on the way out, but I'd say that's at least a half second gone. And yeah, look, there he goes.
Yeah, Callum's pulling away now.
And then, but Callum has got some more traffic coming up because there is a few more GT cars before he gets a little break in the traffic. See on the map at the top right corner, guys, so you can see the map up there. So you can see the red dot, the red arrow is the one that we're watching now. So he's got a few cars in front of him, and then he's got a bit of clear space. So, but he's just got to negotiate this traffic, okay, and then he should be all right to get to the end. So let's have a look. Bidster's on lap 39 of 43 now. It's only a handful of laps left. A smaller handful of laps left in this race. Rod is still with a massive gap over second place in his class. And Thingamajig's still not pitting. 56.8. Wow. He's surely got to pit this time though. That fuel That fuel is not looking good for Thingamajig at all. And Homesick and Seat 1 are closing on him as well there. I know he's just done that 56, but he's definitely going to be pushing for an in-lap now because these two are right on his tail and right up on each other's tail as well. Jamo's just gone backwards. Gummy getting passed by Keith, so Gummy should have put the softs on, I think, but apart from that, very good, impressive performance on the medium tyres by Gummy in this one, Will.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the beginning when he had the mediums on, he was sticking with the first and second. But after that first pit stop, everything kind of spread out, and now he just got put towards midfield.
Yeah, if he'd have gone for the soft tyres, he'd have kept himself with probably Homesick in Seat 1, but or maybe even further in front, maybe towards Thingamajig. But oh well, we can only wish and hope that's what he should have done, but he didn't. So Keith is in 10th place on his own, and he's just tootling around himself now. Stacker in 11th, and we've got Techno who's still in 12th. Is he catching? I'm trying to see if he's not catching 58, 5 and a 59.6, so not catching him at all. Let's go back to the Callum and Neil adventure of trying to battle through the traffic. I think Bidster's further ahead. Yeah, Bidster's next car ahead. So, there we are. They're catching up to Gummy Bear now, so he should have him before Indianapolis. He doesn't want to catch him at Indianapolis, but hopefully should, but knowing Callum's record on here, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. Yeah, he's not. You don't have to sit behind. He's
trying to go around the outside of him. Don't compromise. He's got to be careful with that. Actually, he almost compromised his line there, and you can't compromise the line of the GT3 car, the GTE cars, because we don't allow for that. The GTE cars get right of way. So a bit naughty there by Callum, but probably just getting a bit desperate, trying to keep that gap from Neil.
No, he's really trying to keep that gap because he doesn't want Neil to keep dropping him, because then he knows Neil will be able to save fuel.
And Neil last time round, Will, as well, down to a 3:23.0. So he's back into the 23s now. He's almost 2 seconds off the pace of what he was doing before, and I'm not sure if he's going to get to the end of the race at all.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I'm almost wondering if he's got his engine turned down just a bit.
And he's stuck behind Gummy Bear as well now, and he can't get around the outside of him because it's painful to watch. There he is, he gets through, and Gummy Bear eventually just goes wide, but Neil gets through, but it's a bit late. Thingamajig and Jamo are in the pits. The two guys that we thought would pit, Will, are in. Will Thingamajig rejoin Nia? Where's he gone? Maybe that's it. Oh no, they've gone through. So Thingamajig's down the order then. But that was getting a bit tight up there, weren't it? Because they had a prototype around them, I think. Did they? Or was that me seeing things?
There was.
Oh, me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's me. So there's Thingamajig rejoining. There's Gummy Bear rejoining. So Gummy Bear rejoins and goes ahead of Thingamajig. That could be interesting because Thingamajig's got fresh super soft tyres, half tank of fuel. Gummy Bear's not got much fuel left, but he's on medium tyres, so that we could see the Ford get past the Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari at Le Mans. Those are the words we haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, you're probably gonna see the Ford go around because he has the better rubber on his car at the moment.
Yeah, cheering for. It's a bit weird, this, isn't it? It's a Brit driving an American Ford, and then we've got a American in an Italian Ferrari. So yeah, a bit of a mix up there, but. Yeah, let's see if Thingamajig can get past him in the next few laps. But then we've got Jamo. He's rejoined behind. How much fuel? Jamo's put way too much fuel in there.
Yeah, he put that's way too much fuel.
That's way too much.
He put in almost enough for a full stint.
Biz has just got over 3 laps left, and Jamo's just put in enough to do probably about 13 laps. So, yeah, a bit too much fuel there for Jamo. He could have come out in front of Keith if he had not put that much fuel in. If he'd have put maybe half a tank in, just to be safe, he could have come out there in front of Keith easy. Because there's Keith, and there's Jamo.
Yeah, by the time Keith's coming out of that chicane, Jamo's just entering it. So he put way too much fuel in my car. And
now Jamo's got is he not just a longer stop now, but also the weight of the fuel that adds to the car as well. Because you're talking from a full tank to half a tank, you're talking about a good 1 second difference in pace, easy. So yeah, a bit of a downer for their Jamo, but well, live and learn. But he'll hopefully not make that mistake again. But meanwhile, out front, untroubled, is Bidster out front, number 22 in the lead in the Gulf Porsche in the LMP1 class. So Bidster looking for a win here. He's wanted a win around Le Mans for a while on LPB Racing, and Callum then in second place, doing a good job in second with the diesel Peugeot, down to less than a quarter of a tank. Same for Bidster, so they're in the same boat. As Thunder has a bit of a wobble back there, and Neil, I'm just thinking now, he might be able to make this.
He might be able to. I mean, there's only a little under 3 laps left. He might just have enough. So now I'm thinking when he goes across the line, if he has his car turned down, he'll be turning it up to full power and trying to get back to town.
Yeah, I would imagine so, but I bet he'll be kicking himself thinking, if I just put that extra 10 litres in. If I just put that extra 10 litres in, we've got a car off there, that was Thundercat. Yeah, Thunder off, your pal Thunder. Off the track, fellow American, and he's still keeping going, but he's just having a bit of a horrid few laps. I mean, look, lap 30 was a 4:20, so massive spin there or something. And now he's actually going to be lapped by his own class, because we've got Seat 1 and Homesick are still battling hard, and Seek's now in front of Homesick. Or was that before?
This,
No.
I think, yeah, this just happened, I think.
Yeah, this just happened, yeah. Seat 1's got ahead of the Aston Martin then. And both on the same, roughly same fuel. The Aston Martin a little bit lighter, but clearly the Porsche coming alive now in this last bit of this last section of the track. And Thundercats generously there trying to move out of the way, because within your own class, well, it is blue flags.
Yeah, within the own class, you have to move over for your same class.
Wait, speaking of moving over,
ooh, and it's hitting a bit
Callum
tight.
Callum doesn't care. I don't care if you're the leader of GT Pro. Move out of my way. I'm in a rush. Callum there, acting like it's supermarket sweep and absolutely just going for it. But seat 1 at home 6 still nose to tail. This is going to be the battle for towards the end of the race. Will.
Yeah, this is like I was saying earlier. First, he's pretty much got it, but second, you're gonna have to earn it.
Did you see how wide Homesick Alien went there? That was insane. Oh, he was going that wide. I thought he was going to go grass cutting and then actually get stuck into the grass and end up going into the wall. But luckily, got away with it. But now, the speed and the power of the Aston Martin V12 showing on the straight. Seat 1 shows in which side you're going to pass. Seat 1 taking the defensive line, and now they're out of the draft. It's kind of an even match.
Yeah, they're cornering, so this is basically going to be who can brake first.
And on stats, it's the Porsche that should be the better on the brakes as they go into the corner. The Porsche on the inside, Homesick on the outside, and the Porsche holds on. So seat 1 holds on for now, but how long can he hold on to the position? Because we've only got literally a couple of laps left. Because Bidster now, well, he's on that 41 or 43, so now we've got just under 3 laps left in this race. So, oh, here we go. Look at it. Whoa, my word. That's a better draft than most NASCARs get.
Yeah, he got a good draft. Now he's pulling on him, so if he can get a good run at second chicane, we might see who's going to get it between the Aston and the Porsche.
I wonder if Sheik turned the engine down there just briefly, just to see. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to track that in. I don't think he is. He's pushing. He's pushing. What does this commentator know? Knows nothing. But yeah, he's down the straight, and I don't think he's got the pace to keep with the Aston Martin, but on the straight that is. But in the brakes and the corners, he's definitely going to have a go, and he might have a go into Mulsanne, Will.
He could, if he can get a good draft and get beside him. It looks like that's what he's trying to do.
He's doing it. He's going down the inside.
And he gets it.
Look at the brake discs. Absolutely glowing red. And then Homesick's keeping him around the outside, though. Homesick holds it around the outside of Mulsanne. That's something only an LMP car can do. But he's just held it around the outside of Mulsanne. And now they're side by side. Flat 6 versus V12. On paper, it should be the V12. But yeah, it is. The V12 takes advantage. And now you can't see the Porsche.
Yeah, that Porsche is gonna need to get a good braking zone, and the Porsche curves, if he can get beside him, that's where he's gonna need to do it, because he's better in the corners.
And also there, did you see there, Seat 1 just getting rid of that last little bit of penalty, because you can't afford a penalty at this stage of the race, because obviously if he carries it over the line, the game will add time on, and he'll lose the position. So now is the time of the race where you've got to fight, but you can't afford track limit penalties. That's where the fine line is. Really got to be careful. There's Thundercats in the background there. Let's have a look as Neil turned the engine. Oh, look at the fuel! Oh, I don't. If that were my fuel gauge, I'd just put some tape over it. I won't even look. But wow, that is low on fuel. And Callum's in the 2 18s in a row. Wow, that is some pace. That is, yeah. Callum's on it now, and actually, he's closing in on Bidster. He's closing in. 19-1 for Bidster, a good lap there for Bidster. So Bidster's responded to Callum's pace somewhat, but Callum is the man on the mission here with an 18.9. So he's got I know it's only a couple of tenths faster, but if you take it on average, that's about a second a lap faster than Bidster on average laps.
Yeah, it is. Callum's really pushing.
And firepower. Didn't see the Bidster there, and Bidster just thought he'd wake him up. Even with a couple of laps left and round the corner we go. And now Callum needs that traffic to behave, and he's only got firepower between them, and there's a lot of clear track.
He really needs either a mess up, or if he keeps his pace, he could have a chance in the last lap.
Yeah, which would be really good for the entertainment value of this. And if you like what you've seen so far of me and Will and this Le Mans race, don't forget to like and subscribe to LPB Racing. Leave your comments below, much appreciated, and don't forget to hit your notification bell and turn on the notifications so you can actually receive the notifications as well. And you'll get to see more from LPB Racing, and hopefully more from me and Will in the future, because I think we've both enjoyed this experience.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see both sides of it. of our races.
Yeah, because it's quite funny being a racer and then watching yourself do it again, innit? It's quite a unique experience as Callum finally gets a good turn with the traffic and doesn't get a problem from Firepower. Firepower is usually the best person with blue flags anyway. If anyone respects blue flags most, it's Firepower, which is really good to see. But now the race is on. There's no fuel to, well, there's not really any fuel to worry about because we've only got one lap left after this. So penultimate lap of the race then. Porsche versus Peugeot. What's your money on, Will?
I'm probably going to take the Porsche because there's a good gap, but with Callum's pace, it could come down to it.
It could come down to it. One mistake is, but also Callum's got to get rid of 0.8 penalty and Biz has got to get rid of 0.9 as well. So it's about strategy of getting rid of the penalties as well. Unless you cross the line with it, if you're confident that you're going to get the, you've got the gap, but again, you don't want to risk anything. Biz is pushing now. Biz is pushing now. And then let's see Callum's line through here. Same corner. Much tidier from Callum. Really tidy from Callum, actually. You look at Bidster through the... Let's watch Bidster through the Ford chicane, see if there's any main difference here, Will.
And it picks up a 1.4 penalty now.
Damn. I'm not behaving. As we go through... As Bidster hops over the curbs, touring car style, and on to the last lap of the race goes Bidster. Final lap here at Le Mans, 18.7. Bidster, 18.7. I think he did that. I think he did that slight penalty on purpose because he wanted that fastest lap. And Callum 19.0. Not quite the lap that Callum wanted, but Bidster pulling out the stops here. So I wonder if Bidster's been reserving some pace.
Probably has wanting to get this last lap push because. You know, Callum's coming, but I don't know if he'll have enough time.
Oh, he's getting rid of the penalty now. He's got rid of a bit of the penalty there. Sensible stuff because he's got some hybrid left. So he's got rid of that and he can accelerate again. Now Callum's got to do this in a very strategic way because he's not got hybrid to get himself back up to speed. So he's got to try and do this in a very subtle way with the diesel.
Yeah, he's got to try to do it under brakes and do it smart under brakes or he'll lose a lot of time.
Yeah, so 0.7 for Bidster now and 8/10 for Callum. So that's the difference. It's roughly the same penalty. And we've got to try and continue to end. So we've got a bit of traffic coming up in front of Bidster there. I'm just going to see if this next camera shot gives us a look. No, it doesn't. So let's have a look. We can't see anything yet on board, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But that might be the next chicane when we catch this one. Quick look back to Neil Farmack. He's wow. Again, I'll put some tape over that fuel gauge. Don't look. But yeah, I think fuel's bitten Neil in the arm here.
Yeah, it's come down to the last little bit. Maybe if he put a bit more in, he could have stayed with Callum, but
it's always that what if.
Really hurt him.
It's always that what if, isn't it, Will? It's always that what if. As we go across the line with Rodders onto his last lap of the race, 37, which will be the lap because obviously the prototypes started their last lap. So pretty good judgment on fuel as well with a quarter of a tank left, and looking good for the win here. As seat 1 in 5th, which is second in class. Third in class is Homesick. And they're still pretty close together, but seat 1's pulled the gap on him.
Yeah, he's pulled the gap. And I said all he had to do
401
was
for Homesick
with the corners. So,
401 for Homesick.
Down to a 401. So
yeah, that's where the time's gone. He's made a mistake on that last lap, and that's not helped him at all. Thingamajig, that's going to be sort of comeback of the race, really, starting from that far back and coming back to being 4th in class is no mean feat. So. He's, pretty good stuff there by Thingamajig.
Yeah, really good race by him.
And Gummy Bear's being caught by Jamo. And Gummy Bear, is he going to have enough fuel to finish this race?
It's going to be tight on him. I mean,
Jamo's right behind him.
Jamo might get around him.
Jamo's going to get him here. I know he is. He's going to get him. He's got the traction. He's got the. Yeah, he's going to get him. That medium tyres are dying. No fuel left in that car. Gummy's going to be on limp mode all this lap. So Jamo goes through there, down the inside. He's fighting him for it though. He's fighting him for it. He's trying to go around the outside. No. Grip. Gone. That's it. Jamo's got him. And into 9th place. And meanwhile, back at the front, I'll not commentate on myself across the line. Take it away, Will.
Yeah, and a good race by Bid getting out in front and staying there. And you're getting pretty low on fuel too.
Yeah.
Come to the 4th chicane with no problems.
I had it all covered. So round to the edge, getting a bit of the penalty now, and I'll let you take me across the line.
And Big coming through with the win after 43 laps.
43 laps of Le Mans, and the winner is Bidster across the line. Callum takes a very well-deserved second place and closed up a lot there. So I think Callum got rid of his penalty in the Ford chicane, which saved him a lot of time. And I'm just trying to get all the other cars across the line. So Techno has just crossed the line there, so he's finished in his class now. He's 12th, definitely a cemented 12th there for Techno, and not a bad race by him. Super softs in the end though. He gave up the hard tyre thing.
Yeah, that was kind of what bit him, as the hard tires.
And the man that is literally running on vapour, and he's going to be running on purely battery in a moment if he's not careful. But Neil Farmack is going to be across the line in third in a moment. And not a bad race by Neil Farmack. Just wish he should have put a bit more fuel in, because then it would have kept him in the fight. But unfortunately for Neil Farmack, it's going to be third place, and at least he beat TY, but TY did disconnect, so it's going to feel a bit like a last really. But Neil Farmack, for rounding off the podium in third place, weaves across the line and takes third place. Good race by Neil there.
Yeah, good race. Just come down to the last bit of fuel is what got him.
And just going to cycle through them, guys. Sorry about this. Just going to try and see who the next car is. It's Firepower coming towards the line for 13th place overall. Not a bad race by Firepower, and giving his skill level a very good 13th place there for Firepower. Should be quite happy with himself there, with a very consistent pace in the BMW there. So well done, Firepower. And a good race there for you, sir. I'm just going to look at the next car, and the next car across the line, Will, is the one that we're waiting for, the GTE Pro, well, the GTE leader.
Yeah, and he had a great race, because pretty much since the halfway point, he's had a big gap to the field behind.
Yep, and up to through the Corvette curves, the fuel's just going to be about perfect. The tyres have just about had enough. Perfectly judged by Rodders here. The last lap was a bit slow, so we made a little bit of an error on the last lap, but to be honest with you, I think that's the only error he's made this race, because he's been very consistent, and I'll let Will take him across the line.
And consistency will show to the win, because that Rodders gets a huge win for GT.
Well done, Rodders. Good victory there for Rodders. Wins GTE. Fantastic race for him. Well done to the team as well. And it's Seat 1 who was going to take the second place in class. Didn't expect it at first, because he was quite far down the field, but a good second place there for Seat 1. Well done, flashes lights across the line, and he gets to put the wheel down and have a rest. And Homesick Alien, a good third place in class for him. That was a good fight all race there, Will.
It was, and it just come down to tires really, and the mistakes is what that battle came down to.
And the comeback of the race award goes to Thingamajig. Started way down, I think it was like 12th place or 11th place or something. Not a good starting position, and he's come up to finish 7th overall. Well done to Thingamajig. And the replay's ended there, because I didn't expect that. Sorry about the race ending quickly there, guys. The clip ended a bit quicker than I thought. But here we go. Here's the results in the P1 class podium. Bidster takes victory in the Porsche 919 Hybrid, with Callum second in the Peugeot 908 and Neil third in the Audi R18. And then we go over to the GTE class podium, with Rodders taking the victory there in the Nissan GTR, Seat 1 in the Porsche 911, and then it's Homesick in the Aston Martin. And now a look at the overall standings. So it's Bidster taking the overall victory in the LMP1 class. Well done to Bidster. Callum in second. Then we've got Neil Farmack in third. Rodders winning the GTE class. Well done to Rodders. A fantastic win there for him. Seat 1 then in 5th, with Homesick in 6th place. We've got Thingamajig in 7th, followed by Keith in 8th in the Corvette. We've got Jamo in 9th, with Gummy Bear in 10th. Stacker in 11th. Techno finishes in 12th. Firepower is 13th, with Thundercat in 14th. TY having a horrible race and went back down and ended up in 15th after going, unfortunately, and then 16th. Overall. And as we come back from the results there, absolutely brilliant win there for Bidster in the LMP1 class, and then we can see there the winner in the GTE class there, Rodders. Good victories from them both. What was the key points of the race for you there, Will? What did you enjoy the most?
That big GT battle that towards the end of the race, that seemed like they were acting like it was last lap, even though they still had a bit of time left.
Yeah, it was really good GT3 battle. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. Anything else?
That was a good battle. And pretty much everybody was keeping it pretty clean through most of the race. You know, that was one of the things going into the race, was that who could stay clean and who was going to get a bit squirrely. But everybody kind of kept it together for the whole race.
Yeah, it was a really, really impressive performance by everyone. I mean, I personally quite enjoyed the GT battle. It was a very, very close battle between a lot of them. I mean, yeah, Homesick, Seek, and everyone else. Really good battles throughout as well. So it's a shame we couldn't see the end of the race there, unfortunately. But everyone did finish in the ways that you saw there. Obviously, we've just seen the results. So yeah, that is all from Le Mans, guys. From the 2019 LPB 2.4 hours of Le Mans. It's been lovely having you here, Will, with us. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
And we will see you guys.
To be here.
Yeah, cool, nice one. We'll see you guys next time for another spectacular race. See you then, guys. Bye from me and Will.